I think you'll appreciate this fairy tale. It will help you understand what started my obsession with documenting nature in all her amazing and mysterious glory. You'll even see these glowing creatures many know as light beings intelligently interacting with me. No kidding. And they are most commonly known as fairies in Western cultures. It all started on November 26, 2011, with this picture I entered into a sunset photo contest. 2 weeks later, I noticed 29 UFOs over the ocean that almost looked like flying boats. The image is adjusted to best see them. This had me inspecting all 254 pictures taken that day with the fine-tooth comb. This image has 40 UFOs flying over the ocean. I'm guessing they may be 100 feet long. To me, they look way out over the ocean. I was seeing all kinds of things that didn't make sense to me. Take a look at a couple more images that stood out and what appeared in them that had me stumped. I initially thought this was a woman jogging on the beach, but I came to realize that is not hair blowing in the wind. They are wings. With close inspection, you can even see whatever this is turn to look at me. Could this be some kind of angel? I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but you'll see why I say that in a bit. And here's another I initially thought was a jogger. Notice on the far right. But the more I learned, the more I thought it might be angelic in nature. Just imagine someone with their hands up in prayer. I actually think it is praying for the family walking on the beach, heading towards a headland where after 6 months of trying to repeat evidence to figure out what the UFOs were, my mind was pleasantly blown. I had glowing creatures around me I couldn't see that almost looked like fairies or angels. I think you can see why. They often had their wings up, so I would mimic them. And it seemed as if they would mimic me. Keep in mind, I have no idea such glowing creatures are around me. I only suspect they are. And it has nothing to do with any special ability. Under the right conditions, everyone can photograph fairies around them. I would also hold out my hand, and they'd appear above it. I almost felt like a magician. Again, it almost seems like the fairy is mimicking me. And check out the orbs such creatures go hand in hand with. They aren't nearly as easily explained as so many insist. And here's one seemingly sharing my wishes for peace in the world. It took me over 10 years to truly inspect this image to see what was going on. Some of my most incredible evidence was discovered years after taking the pictures. Let's turn the image on its side, adjust it, and take a closer and closer look. I think you can tell I have no idea it's there. If I did, I'd go running like a little schoolgirl. I freak out when giant insects come into my space, like most of us. And take a look at this one photographed the same day, looking at the camera. Almost looks like it has the face of a child. And fairies can be even more detailed than this. Incredible. And notice how it has one wing and one arm, which is common in fairies. And believe it or not, they can have hands. This is not a joke. Here it looks more like something you'd see on a crab. And such creatures are linked to the ocean. This is really fascinating. The intelligence of these creatures is being displayed in this image. As you'll see, one is using its wings to seemingly measure my thumb. Let's take a closer and closer look. Wow. I can only imagine the knowledge it's trying to gain from me. Now let's take a closer and closer look at this picture to see what almost looks like a genie with baggy pants. He's no more than 3/4 of an inch tall. Notice what I circled in the upper left corner. Also, how the fairies have their wings behind their back. And you'll see the genie has his arms behind his back. You may even notice a face in the rock, and while it's not obvious, you'll see a tiny one behind the genie that is. Make sure to notice the insect in the upper left for size comparison. It's as if the genie is looking over a cliff at the fairy below. And check out the face of a man with a beard above the genie. Do you see him? And it appears the genie also has the face of a man. It's absolutely amazing what you can see when taking a closer look at nature. You realize what goes on in fairy tales goes on in real life. Now take a look at a genie in flight. Notice circled, it really does look like a genie. And who knows, maybe such creatures inspired the character or mythical figure. I can't express enough how art comes to life in my images time and time again. So, what are your thoughts about these glowing creatures only the camera can see? Are they really a form of fairy or something else? What I can tell you is they do have a close relationship with orbs. They are like best buddies. They even play with orbs like they're volleyballs. And I can tell life inside them have respect for fairies. Notice the notch in the orb. Believe it or not, it is like a driver's seat. And with close inspection and a really good eye, you can see a woman turn to look at the fairy as if in admiration. Since it's so hard to see her, to confirm human spirits really are found sitting in the notch of orbs as if they are vehicles. Take a look at a woman, so obvious she looks like a cartoon character. Incredible. Notice her light blue top, very blonde hair, red lips as if she's wearing lipstick, and big beautiful smile. And take a look at my girlfriend at the time I photographed this orb above. Here she is at a Jimmy Buffett concert. She clearly shares all the same characteristics. And notice above the crowd a blonde spirit looking right at the camera. I have zero doubt both spirits are related in some way to this woman with the heart of gold. By the way, with close inspection you can see some spirits in the crowd actually look like they're wasting away in Margaritaville. Could this be an example of what heaven can look like? If you appreciate my videos, I'd be very grateful if you follow nature's real fairy tales and tell your friends about my channel, which I believe can help people feel better about life. It's important we know there is so much more to life than meets the eye.